Welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose of Drupal. This is episode number 65 today. And today we're going to be talking about the SexyBookmarks Drupal 7 module. But first, before we get started, as always, I'm Shane. You can follow me on Twitter at smthomas3. Also go to codekarate.com if you haven't already, and please sign up for the newsletter. Okay, let's get started. The SexyBookmarks module. Besides the provocative name, it actually has a pretty good purpose, especially if you're building a blog or a site that is going to contain a lot of potential social sharing, or you want to generate social traffic to your website. And basically, as you can see, it's a port of the WordPress plugin by the same name, and it provides you with some social sharing links that can be dropped into the bottom of your posts. So installation is pretty easy if you're using the Drupal 7 version. Just go ahead and download it. Make sure you also have the Chaos Tools Suite or C Tools downloaded and installed as well. I've already dropped it in on our test site, and I believe I have it enabled. So I'll come back to the home page here, and you can see right out of the box it works. That's one of the things that there's a lot of other social sharing tools out there, and I'll probably go over some of the other ones in the future. But this is one that's pretty nice because you just turn it on and it works. There's no extra configuration that has to happen in order just to get the base working. You don't have to have codes from third-party services or accounts on any other websites, so it's kind of nice in that regard. So we'll go ahead and take a look at a couple configuration options, because as you can see, it's already set up and working. We could go ahead and just end it here, but there is the ability to configure it. So I'm going to go ahead and find it in our modules list, and I'm going to click on configure. You can of course set permissions for it. There's a default profile that it starts with. If you edit that, you will see that it contains a list of active and inactive services. So we could modify this and change the settings here, but we're actually going to go ahead and create a new profile. Go ahead and call this one Code Karate, and we'll go ahead and select which services we want. We'll say we don't want that one or this one. We're going to keep it nice and simple. Going to get rid of all these. Maybe we want to add Google back in over here, and maybe we want to go ahead and add Reddit. So there we go. We have our services. We can rearrange them if we want. Just click and drag, and now we go down to the functionality settings. We can include a Facebook like button, so we'll of course include that, and we'll say we want this to be at the bottom left. You can show the share counters, which is recommended. You can use the tooltips, add no follow links, which you can do there. We want to not show the Shareaholic link, for instance, in this example. You can select a specific URL shortener. You can also configure the tweet template. So if we want to change the tweet template to say something depending on what you want, so I can put my own Twitter handle in there. So we can configure the tweet to use that. There's also aesthetic settings that you can configure. We're going to leave those at the default. So after we save that, we have our own profile here. We come back to the home page, and you'll notice it hasn't changed. So what we need to do is we need to go into this specific content type. In this case, it's the article content type. And we're going to configure the profile here. You just select whichever SexyBookmarks profile you want to use. In this case, we're going to select Code Karate. And we're going to click Save. Now if we come back to the home page, you can see the like button's a little messed up, but it is working. If we go to the page, it works right out of the box. We probably should move that like button maybe up above instead of below. It'll look a little bit nicer, but as you can see, it works. You can play around with it. You can configure it. You go ahead and click on it. It's going to start by asking you to connect with Twitter. You can go ahead and say OK. I can sign in, let it work that way, and then it should allow me to go ahead and post through Twitter. You can do the same through Facebook, LinkedIn, all of those various options. And there you go. I could go ahead and right now tweet this article out, and I would never have to actually leave the website, which is, it's kind of nice. And as you can see, it integrates with a bunch of different services, so you're not limited to just Twitter, of course. So that's it for this time. Really short and simple. The Sexy Bookmarks module for Drupal 7. It's one of the many bookmarking services modules that you can use, but it can be very effective, especially if you have a lot of content that you want to share across various social networks. So thanks again for watching the Daily Dose of Drupal, and we will be back again next time.